Okay, my friends, a pleasant good afternoon, Trinidad and Tobago, and those of you who are locked on to our program, Hard Facts. I'm your host, Imam Rashid Karim, my co-host, Mr. Premchand Balde. We are here Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays, starting time 12:15 in the afternoon. It's your lunch time, it's your lunch break. It is your program that is going to identify, my friends, the challenges that you, the hardworking citizens of our country, are challenged with on a daily basis. We discuss relevant issues. We discuss how we can develop ourselves, our country, and make it a better place for you to reside. And for those persons who are looking on from the outside, from the external world, whether it be regionally, internationally, or, my friends, different parts of the world that really and truly are connected with Trinidad and Tobago via the identityship and so forth. My friends, I want to thank you all and let you all know that you have the opportunity to share our videos. We would like to thank you, those who have been sharing our videos in the past. Share this live so that people around the world can know exactly what is taking place in our beautiful country under this government and under the watchful eyes of the opposition of Trinidad and Tobago. So stay tuned to our program. Our program is starting time 12:15, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays. Thank you. Okay, my friends, a pleasant good afternoon, Trinidad and Tobago. Let me greet you all with the universal greetings of, may the peace and blessings of God Almighty descend upon each and every one of you all who are alive today. My friends, I want to welcome you all to our program, Hard Facts, that is aired Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays on this beautiful station, Sentinel Media Broadcasting. I am your host, Imam Rashid Karim, my co-host, Mr. Premchand Balde. We are here Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays, identifying the anomalies, debating the irrelevant issues of the day, and identifying with you, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, how we can really and truly make a dent when it comes to crime, when it comes to better infrastructure, and when it comes to better representation. So stay tuned, my friends, and I ask you all to join with us. Call us at 372-372-2129. That's the number that you can reach us in program and let us know what is going on in your neck of the woods. So again, friends, I thank you and may God Almighty bless you. Stay tuned to our program, Hard Facts. Okay, my friends, Trinidad and Tobago, those of you who are locked on, a pleasant good afternoon to each and every one of you all who are locked on to our program, Hard Facts, that is aired on this beautiful station, Sentinel Media Broadcasting. I am your host, Imam Rashid Karim, my co-host Mr. Premchand Balde. We are here Mondays, Wednesdays and Saturdays identifying the anomalies that is being perpetrated by the criminal elements in our society and those persons who are in authority. And again, my friends, those of you who are looking on, you have an opportunity to call us at 372-2129. I'm going to repeat that number for you all, 372-2129. And let's identify what is taking place in your community. Whether it is good, whether it is something that can elevate, maybe can help others. Maybe again, my friends, something adverse happened. Maybe the garbage truck is not picking up your garbage. Maybe there is potholes in your community. Maybe there are people who are stalking. Maybe there are people who are maybe passing in front of your homes and having that big DJ trucks in front of your homes. And so many different anomalies that is taking place. And again, my friends, you have that opportunity to call us and we can be able to highlight your stories. And even so much so, we can call the relevant agencies on your behalf and let them know what is taking place with you, the hardworking citizens of this country. So again, my friends, today is Monday. It is Monday in the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. And those of you who are locked on worldwide, whether it be internationally, whether it be regionally, whether it be locally, we want to take this opportunity again to welcome you and ask you to share this video. Let people know, well, here what? You all have a lunchtime program. In Trinidad, it is lunchtime. In other places, it might be breakfast. In other places, it might be dinner. But again, Trinidad and Tobago, you are fortunate that you have a voice that you can really and truly identify with the governance of the day, letting them know about your perils and your hardship. Premchand Balde is my co-host here. And again, Prem, I want to welcome you. Thank you very, very much. Prem?
So thank you very much, our Reverend Imam Rashid Karim. Namaste, Assalamu alaikum, and a pleasant Monday, good afternoon to all our viewers on Sentinel Media Broadcasting. This is the program Hard Facts. It is a live, unedited program, my friends, that deals with the core issues that are affecting the citizens of our country, our neighboring countries, our growth and development of our young people, and the status quo of everyone in this country. My friends, we are with you Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays from approximately 12:15 p.m. This is a 1-hour show. It is a 1-hour program. And as I said, it is unedited and it is a live program. Now, my friends, Trinidad and Tobago, our beautiful twin island republic, that was once hailed as the Mecca, as the oasis of trade and industry in the Caribbean, that was a transshipment country for all goods and services in the Caribbean. Yeah. Thank you very much, Director there. My friends, 9 years of People's National Movement, PNM, in government, and 9 years of the United National Congress in opposition. What does that spell for us? Imam, listen carefully.
Yeah.
9 years of disrespect. 9 years of alienation for the citizens of this country. 9 years of disregard, of scorn, of scant courtesy, exhibited upon each and every citizen of this country by the government and the opposition sitting there, seeing all this is happening, listen to the cries of the people, and fail to oppose, fail to do anything that they were elected to do in that parliament. 9 years of suffering of our people, unable to buy food, unable to send their children to school. 9 years of suffering for patients in the hospitals of this country. The government, during the COVID period, pressured the citizens, forced them against their will to take that vaccine. If you don't take the vaccine, you will not be able to attend the government offices or to the bank and so forth to conduct your business. Lie to us. On top of that, crime has always been on the rise. Property tax is looming over our head. They said that no property tax. And here they come and turn and twist their tongue, and it is over our head like a cloud about to pour rain, about to pour the acid of hardships upon us. 9 years and not 1 cent raise of pension for our senior citizens. That is a caring government, and that is a caring opposition. Both sides, no one cares for anybody in this country. And this might be a bitter pill to swallow. Kidnappings continue under the government and under the opposition. Home invasions. Should I say more? The road conditions remain the same. The highways and the byways, traffic is the same. Carjacking continues to rise. Our young people are disappearing in this country. We do not know if there is a human trafficking ring that is existing and operating free of charge in this country. After 9 years, the government saw it fit to bring an SOE, a state of emergency, to deal and to wrap up with this crime situation. To put under arrest those whom they believe and they have evidence and information on that are perpetrating mass murders in this country. Lo and behold, under that said state of emergency, the Commissioner of Police was arrested and questioned. What is really happening in our country? With this small introduction, which is the basis for our discussion here this afternoon, Imam, I hand over to you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Prem. So again, my friends, those of you who are locked on, this is your program, Hard Facts. That is aired Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays. I am here, my co-host is here. And again, my friends, we give you the opportunity to call us at 372-2129. Let us know what is taking place in your neck of the woods. We begin our program today because many of you might not notice when we talk energy, we talk fuel, we talk gas, we talk economy. And at this present time, the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago and also the acting Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, they are having a big conference at this present time. And you know something, my friends, again, we appreciate all these things. We appreciate the development of our country. But the point here is, what is going to be the outcome? Because remember, we had summits upon summit.
3 crime symposiums.
Yes, and millions of dollars went there. Invested dollars, hard-working dollars.
That brought nothing.
By the citizens of our country. And again, my friends, nothing was really and truly won by that actions that was taken by the government in the space of 9 years. We saw a lot of summits. We saw a lot of conferences. We saw a lot of debates from the opposition end, from the government
and visits to other countries.
Again, and I tell you something, the latest one was that, Trinidad and Tobago, listen carefully. I want you all, this has, you know, other programs, when I look at certain people and I look at their commentaries, I would see blatant racial discrimination coming out of it. It spurs out of it like a venom, like a poison. This program here, we are not like those other programs. But we want to ask a question for Trinidad and Tobago. Our Prime Minister, he went to Ghana to garnish what I don't know. But it is said now that the election, we don't know if that yam came from Ghana, or it come from Grenada, or it come from one of the Caribbean islands. But this is what we saw. Ghana gives Trinidad and Tobago, and
gives Trinidad 10,000 yams.
Anybody who plant yam, yam is something, it is like like a vine product that grows when you dig, you replenish the end, and that sort of thing will grow again, and it will envelop and it will give you more and more, right? Now, we are seeing the government of the day receiving at this time, election time, and are trying to figure it out why all these things are happening
at this time.
Only at this point in time. Is it that they are trying to take the PNM voters, not the UNC voters, because basically when you look at the persons, like for example, Beanie Man came in Trinidad and he make a mockery of his own self, right? And he debates his own self. And then another one from Tobago go down there and do the very same thing. And you could see Trinidad and Tobago, the venom and the poison that they are trying to sow discord and discontention.
At this time.
And in this country, Trinidad and Tobago, that was a peaceful. When you look, you know something, Trinidad and Tobago, many of you might look at me and say, hey, he from Felicity. But you know where I grew up? I grew up in Pashley Street, Lavantil. Pashley Street, Lavantil, right? That is the street along where Willie's Bakery is in Port of Spain. That is where we grew up. And I tell you something, we had people there, Miss Melda. We used to go and collect coconuts. And we used to be with her and grate coconut and make, pay me and coconut roll and all these things. You think that could happen today? You know why it would not happen today? Because of these poisonous venom snakes that they call themselves activists going across there. And you know what? They're creating discord and discontention and division.
Racial division.
Right? You hear the venom. We are talking about yam. We welcome that. We welcome that. But I wish that some of those plants, you see where the plants go on, friends? Trinidad and Tobago, you see where that plant, some go on Tobago and some gone for the godfathers. They gone for the godfathers down in this end here.
Which one of the south farmers or the central farmers or farmers of the east?
No, well, here what I was going to do.
You understand? Well, get some of that seeds. Wait, just a minute. All right, you go ahead.
No, here what I was going to do, and then you'll take over. I was going to call on, you know who? Avinash Singh, the junior minister of agriculture, who living in Felicity.
Right here.
Why can't he bring down some seedlings, some yam seedlings, and see if we could be able to plant some yam in Central so that we could get some yam to eat from that big endeavor that was taken by our beloved Prime Minister, Dr. Keith Honorable Rowley.
Yes.
Why can't we get that?
Yes, because Junior Minister Avinash Singh, I recall some years ago in one of the general elections, in the build-up to the election, which was the campaigning period, he was sharing out sweet potato from a truck, right, to people to get them to vote for him. Now, Imam, as a Prime Minister, second in line, the highest office in the land, you have made several trips to Ghana and to African countries and India and all these places. That is the best you could do? To bring yam seed here? To bring yam seed to plant? We don't have yam here? How profitable is that going to be to Trinidad and Tobago, Mr. Prime? Can the profit of that cover the cost of your trip to Ghana?
No, that is Mama Guy.
You want to tell me, Mr. Prime Minister, that Ghana has nothing else that you could have engage into discussion with to bring something more profitable to this country, and for us to send something to Ghana in trade so that it could bring in foreign exchange to this country? What have you done, Dr. Rowley? What have you done? That summit you're in right now in Port of Spain, what is the cost of that? What would be the outcome of that? 3 summits you held on crime in this country. What was the outcome of it? A SOE. You all failed to implement anything at all. And this country is going down and down into the ruins.
Exactly.
Political ruins. People are not safe anymore.
And Trinidad and Tobago, right? When we come here and we try to talk to you. And we try to be civil as civil can be. Because I'll tell you something. We have to harness. You see, crime to certain people in this country is a big, humongous business.
It's profitable.
Some people, we don't want to say the 1% or the 10% or the 5%, but there are some people who are benefiting largely from the transportation of prisoners to and fro. Right? We are seeing those things. We are seeing lots and lots of people getting contracts to see about servicing cameras and installing cameras in the different governmental offices and so forth. That is another piece of money going there.
Providing meals of prisoners.
And again, we're talking here. Why it is that, nothing comprehensive have been done when it comes to incarcerated prisoners in our country? Why it is that the prisoners cannot work, right, and make some monies via the prisons, the penal system, and be able to utilize that very said money so that their families can be taken care of outside of prison? Are we so backward? Are we so backward in Trinidad and Tobago that the Minister of National Security only, bumping his gum? And we look at the so-called acting commissioner of police, right? Imagine the commissioner of police has not been charged with any crime. But yet still this government...
This commissioner said...
This government has seen it fit...
The commissioner is still under investigation, Ola.
Right. And you know something? My friend, Trinidad and Tobago, we had to be really, really, really gullible to the max to understand and to take in what these people give us on a daily basis as information coming from the governmental agencies. What about the other agencies? What about immigration? What has immigration done? When we look at transportation, the Ministry of Transportation, Works and Transport, what have they done? When we look at the Health Ministry, what have they done? When we look at Tourism Ministry, a large chunk, let me tell you something. Director, I want you to pull up how much money was given to tourism in our country. And you tell me, Trinidad and Tobago, where those money went. And you know what? They are trying to take out the pittance of approximately $220 million per year in property tax, squeeze the throat of the innocent, hard-working citizen of our country, and my friend, get away with it scot-free because the opposition doesn't have a clue what to do. I'm telling you this. Imagine when we look around and we see millions and millions are being spent. Millions and millions. We're talking about billions went missing. We're not talking about that. We're talking about the misspending of millions and millions of dollars. We don't have a good road. People don't have bed in the hospitals. The schools are like prisons. Children don't even have desks. Now, I tell you something. I listened to a PTA meeting where the principal was having dialogue with the executive of the PTA. And you know something? That was so distasteful. It's a shame. That, you know, it is as though somebody is being questioned and as though there are criminals in that group where people, you know, they question so, you know, vociferously that it indicates that there is no good blood within the framework of PTA in our country, in our schools. Always the PTA and the parents, the PTA and the school principal, they always have some sort of feud taking place. And that has to be ironed out. I am telling you, the minister of education have to step in and give the PTA. I tell you something, if the PTA, just put P association, not PTA. Let the T be separate. Because the T work for the principal and the P work for the students. And I want to tell you all something. That thing called PTA has to be changed to PA. Right? The Parents Association, where the parents will be able to understand the children's problems and be able to understand how to rectify. Because every time they debate, look at this kind of money here. Key points to remember, amount allocated would have been $15 million, purpose for upgrading tourism attractions. Right? And that came from the Ministry of Culture and Arts. When you look at...
Imam, where had $15 million gone? What part of tourism was that invested upon?
I feel...
And what were the outcome of it, the results of it? Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing.
It had things, the Hindu community, the Muslim community, the Christian community, and the cultural aspects of all these communities. Everybody have cultural, you know, aspects and things within their own religious background. They don't do that. They don't support that. I tell you something, as a Muslim in our country, Trinidad and Tobago, this government cares nothing about doing anything or assisting anybody when it comes to Islam or building brotherhood or camaraderie. And that's the reason why crime is escalating. Crime is escalating because you know what, Trinidad and Tobago, those people who you are put in authority, those persons who you vote for, they don't have a clue what to do and don't understand, you know, the psychic or the psychology of the citizenry of this country. They are Hindus, they are Muslims, they are Christians, they are Roman Catholic, they are Baha'is, they are Baptists. All these people have certain different cultural background that they want to work
and
with.
Celebrations.
Right? And they want to work with it so that they could develop and they could attract the youths within the framework of that. But you know something? The government always think that, you know, Carnival is it. Carnival is, you know, is like the star.
Yes.
It's like the star on the Christmas tree. You know something? We don't, as a Muslim, a real Muslim, and I'm saying this real and hard and loud, as a real Muslim, they don't participate in Carnival. And this kind of wine and jam thing, that we don't celebrate those things. Those things are immoral, whether you like it or not. Nudity, immorality. Imagine this, our Carnival has become just like Rio de Janeiro. Worse than that too.
Where people parade 99% naked.
Naked. And you call that culture? That is the reason why you see, you're feeding the animalistic qualities in the human nature.
Carnality.
Yeah,
yes.
The carnality. And when you don't feed that animalistic quality within the framework of the human being, and you know they start to grab and rape and rob and thief and whatever, then you're saying there's a breakdown.
Immoral
there
values.
There is a breakdown in the moral values in Trinidad and Tobago. And you are the ones who are injecting the vitamin and also the poison when it comes to debasing our country, Trinidad and Tobago. That's the reason why all those persons who are leaders on the day of requital, on the day of judgment, you will find what your hands have sown. Let's take a break, Director.
So welcome back, Trinidad and Tobago. Welcome back to our program, Hard Facts, on Sentinel Media Live Broadcasting. With me in studio is our Reverend Imam Rashid Karim, my friends. Imam Rashid Karim is the presiding priest, so to speak, Imam of the Felicity Masjid. Our Imam is also the chairman of the FIDAIL, the Islamic FIDAIL Funeral Trust Association, based in Felicity. And he's also a businessman. He runs the Island Express Hardware, situated at Rashid Avenue, Kakandi Road in Felicity, where you can come and get all your building material from foundation to finish, plumbing material, water tanks, water pumps, cement, steel, electrical fittings, whatever you need to. Come to Island Express Hardware in Felicity, and you ask to speak to the Imam, and you can negotiate your prices. Now, my friends, just to catch up a bit on where we left off before the break. The Imam was speaking of funding for religious observances by the different religious organizations in our country. Now, our country is a multinational, a multifaceted, a multi-ethnic, and religious also organizations. On behalf of the Hindu community receives nothing from the government for Diwali celebrations. Throughout this country, there's Diwali celebrations where Hindu reside. And they apply to the Ministry of Arts and Culture for money way in advance. Sometimes not even a response. No money before or after the festival. We have Shivratri. We have
Pagwa.
We have Pagwa celebrations. As I said, the Diwali celebrations and so many other celebrations. We have Kartik Snan and whatnot. Our Hindu brothers and sisters, they have to push their hands deep down into their pockets, Imam, and bring out money to celebrate. One of the biggest religious festivals in Trinidad is the Diwali celebration. And when you want to experience Diwali in its entirety, in its supremacy, come to Felicity.
Exactly.
Felicity is the capital of Diwali of the Caribbean. Okay? Why is this so? What you apply, you're not getting a response, you're not getting the money before, you're not even getting it afterwards. So are we fools, Imam?
And not that alone, Prem. You know what is heartening and disenchanting is that, let me tell you what's going on. We coming up, there's carnival coming up. This has nothing to do with discrimination and racial this and that.
Let me just say with this
don't come with that. Yeah.
A true practicing Hindu will not go to even watch carnival, far less to participate. Thank you, Director. Far less to participate and gyrate yourself and alcohol consumption and nudity in the streets of Trinidad and Tobago. And next morning you want to go Shivratri in the mandir? You are not a Hindu, you are a hypocrite.
Right. So basically what we are saying here, Trinidad and Tobago, right? We started this program in a different note, but I tell you something, this is how, guidance really comes in. What we are doing here is identifying, because basically what we are seeing happening in Trinidad and Tobago,
15 million went for tourism.
Yes, we are seeing these things, and the question begs to be asked, what kind of tourism? Is it a nude beach? Is it a nude beach? Or is it only in Tobago there is tourism? Or is it, my friends, that money was utilized, for their own benefits, right? And maybe they're going to throw it back and say, well, here what, it was preparative things for carnival and for this and for that. I tell you something, the Islamic community in Trinidad and Tobago, and as was said by Premchand Bale, the both of us who are sitting here, we are spokespeople. We are spokesmen of the different faith-based organizations, because we are really and truly identifiable with Islam and with Hinduism in our country. And I tell you something, if we are telling you this, when the temple have to do something, they have to run a curry queue, a veggie queue.
$1 raffle.
And this, that, and when the Muslim community have to, it's a good thing that in Islam, you know what, we have something called zakat, and that zakat is being given to the needy, the wayfarers, the widows, the orphans, and so forth. But when it comes to building masjid, and when it comes to taking care of programs, like, when school closed, there's going to be extra classes taking place in the different venues, and there'll be some small camps to bring in the children, to keep them in an environment, because once you allow your children to go outside there, you know what is going to happen? They are going to be seduced by the devil. They are going to be seduced by the devil, like what is going to take place in just a few days from now. When you look at the nudity, you understand? You know something? I tell you this, this country, you see hypocrites and you see hypocrisy glaring in one breath. In one breath, when they speak, you could swear that they are saints. And then after, when you see the real action within them, you're going to realize, hey, that is Lucifer in person.
Correct.
That is Lucifer in person, because here what? You cannot in one breath say that as a prime minister that crime has gone, has reached that proportion of not coming back. And then you know what? You feed in the fuel that is going to create more criminal elements in our. Let me tell you something. When women especially, when they go across there, in whatever celebration or bands or whatever, and they go across there and the type of clothing that they wear, right? The type of clothing that they wear, which is seductive. People are seeing that. You know what? Why is that people put up a display in a store? Why? Prim, tell them why. Why people put, when you go to buy, when you go in Debe to buy Sahina and Polori and Bara and sweets, why things that they put that in a display? Why? Can you answer that? They put that in a display so that you could be attracted towards it, so that you would want to buy it, you would want to touch it, you would want to eat it,
and
you would want to swallow it. That is the reason why they put those things there. And when our dear ones, right, they go across there, they wear next to nothing. The criminal, not everybody is sane-minded in our country. It has something called alcohol. When you drink alcohol, right, automatically your faculties, it transforms into something different. You don't have no control. That is the reason why when you do your wrong things, you say, I was drunk. I make a mistake. I'm sorry because I was drunk. I was intoxicated. That is what happened, my friends. So if you want to protect yourself and your family, you have to get a government that is caring. A government that really and truly cares about the citizens of this country and not about one group of people. That is our major problem. That is our growth yesterday.
You know, Imam, if you listen to some of the songs that have been perpetuated, played on the airwaves of our radio in Trinidad and Tobago, my friends, it is really, really demonizing, demoralizing. It is disrespectful to people decent in Trinidad and Tobago. Just imagine in the Chatli Soca Monarch, I listened yesterday, an artist singing, give him Ganga Chana. What nonsense is that, by Imam? And don't talk about the calypso side of it. It is even worse, my friends. And that is being perpetuated in our radio station. That is what our young children are looking at and they are listening. So as the Imam just said, there has to be camps, holiday camps in the masjid, in the mandir, and in other environments where the minds of our young people and even the elderly, will be focused and harnessed to something productive. Now, my friends, the crime situation in Trinidad and Tobago, bandits would go, they would invade a home, Imam, and they would rob the people of that home. They would beat them, Sometimes they would kill them also, and all sorts of things. This is happening. It is reality. It's not that we are perpetrating this. It is happening. Gunmen invaded a home in Sawa on Thursday.
Yeah.
Director, bring up that clip there, please, if you have it. Right? On Thursday. And unable to enter into the home to perpetrate a nasty, heinous crime. You know what they did? They set the home on fire. They set the home on fire.
Because of maybe the security fences and so forth.
Whatever is the case, they could not enter and they set the home on fire. So this is a new trend. This is another step, a new height in criminality now at your home when you are
they can't get it. If I can't get it, I will burn it down. And that is why something, Trinidad and Tobago, we need to have some type of serious penalty. Because I remember recently they said this, right, that people who is found with a firearm, illegal firearm, no bail.
No bail. Where has that gone?
And we have seen this happen. People with firearms getting bail for small amount of monies, right? And people who commit maybe a crime maybe of passion or something like that, they are thrown in jail without bail. Again, we are not here to debate penalties and those things. We are here to dissect and tell Trinidad and Tobago what is happening here is really and truly unacceptable under the hands of this PNM government. I tell you something, there is going to be some sort of high tension because I've been listening, I've been watching, and I've been seeing what is really true. This is a new trend. Since the PNM come into existence, right? Since the PNM came into existence, you're going to realize that a person of African descent would have been the Prime Minister of the country and also the leader of the party. Now we are seeing a little shift in the podium, and that is not auguring well with certain elements of the society. And I'm trying to be as diplomatic as possible. I am seeing on Facebook, on social media, in YouTube and those places where a lot of, emotions and tensions are being, elevated.
And expressed.
And people are expressing it via obscenities and so many different avenues. Now, I tell you something. These are important issues that has to be taken seriously by the protective services of our country. Even so much so, one individual, and he was identifying, something, let me be real here. A lot of people think that, East Indian people get their wealth, they get wealth just so. A lot of people in our country believe that, the East Indian who have a business, and the East Indian who have something, or they have enterprise or trucking companies or any kind of established business, they went and pick up that. They went to somewhere in the mangrove, and they went and they picked that. And they kind of, it is look as though the East Indian in this community, you know what, we get a favor. Let me tell you something, Trinidad and Tobago. If you all don't know, there are people who don't go and party. There are people who have never seen Maracas Beach. There are people who are living in South, they have never come into Port of Spain. There are people who have never seen sunlight in their own homes. Don't get tired. Don't get tired, Trinidad and Tobago. There are people who sacrifice their wives and children, see them for 1 hour a day, or maybe a half an hour, sometimes a week passes and they don't speak to their own children. And you all, something, you all always had to say, south of the Caroni Bridge. Like, we getting things free here. If south of the Caroni Bridge is divided, Trinidad and Tobago, the other half will suffer. I want you all to understand that this is not no racial discrimination. We are talking facts because you are going outside there and talking and making people feel, the international and the regional community feel that Kamla Pasad Bisasa and Pandey and whoever, Bade Sagan Maraj and whoever, they give the East Indian community something. We get nothing. All these lands, let me tell you something, all these lands that you see East Indian people own at this time in the country, these things are sacrificed. It was blood sacrifice that was made by their fathers and their mothers, and that's the reason why today they have a property and they have a roof over their head. And the government of the day wants to take that roof out of the head of these very said people who work hard for those things. I want you all to talk about that on your social media program. Don't only go there and watch who have bookstore, who have gas station, who have this, who have that.
But Imam, let me make a point here. The United National Congress was in power for 11 years. 6 years with Basdev Pandey and 5 with Kamla Pasad.
That's in the whole history
of politics. All the time, 50-something or 60-something years, the PNM was in power. All right? The East Indian population, they work hard. They prospered under PNM, under hardships, under extreme hardships. They prospered. What happened to the other ethnic group that you people in social media are referring to? As the Imam was saying, in some of these Indian people homes, they eat once or twice a day. Some of the women don't even use underarm, Imam, just to save that money, to educate their children and to put up that structure. And you see that car park up there? They work damn hard in the garden and in the fields of Karen Limited and the rice fields. If you check in time gone by, most of the jobs in the government agencies were occupied by Africans, Imam.
And up to now?
Airport, seaport, and what you call TNTech, Wassa, oil field. All right? And under extreme conditions, the Indians prospered.
And I'll tell you something again, Trinidad and Tobago. This we just dissecting. You know why we dissecting? Because come Carnival here, you're going to get a budget. You're going to get a budget for Carnival preparation, stage, and all these things. You know something? If they utilize these stadiums, they don't have to build that big stage there, costing $100 million. And $40,000 for what? For toilets.
Toilets and rented it.
Right? You don't have to do that. The same very said money that you are spending there, you could refurbish, you could revamp those very said stadium and make it secondary. You don't have to bring 1 million people together in one spot. What does it derive, or what benefit that our country derive? People not coming to Trinidad. The only people who come into Trinidad is the people who live in New York, the people who live in London, right?
Who have family here.
And who have some family here. They come here and you know what? They binge out for 2 weeks and then they go back home. You think they're bringing any money here? When they come here, my friends, imagine government land being used as a private car park and you have to pay. This is for the customers of the license office in Caroni.
Well done, Director.
Well done, Director.
Well done.
So you imagine this. That is a very, very important statement that was just made. Everything in this country you have to pay for. Even the things that we get in free, you had to buy it under this PNM government. Just imagine how low we reach. Imagine the things that we get in free from God Almighty, we have to buy it. Because that is real in a prem.
Yes.
That water that comes from God Almighty, we had to pay exorbitant fee for it. And I'll tell you something, that same water is not palatable. You take that and you go and test that in any one of those labs, you're going to realize the contaminants that you and I, people don't drink this water. Long time I used to say, boy, when we go be like America, boy, we buying a bottle of water. Today, nobody drinks the tap water.
Correct, yeah.
Right? So when I tell you all this, the only thing that we getting free right now is a little bit of oxygen. Everything else we're paying for. So Trinidad and Tobago, when we come here and we start to dissect and we start to talk, you all are free. Don't be scared of us. Come out and talk the truth. 3722129. Call the station. Director, make sure the line working. Call the station.
Every year Trinidad hosts this carnival festival. They call it the National Carnival, the National Festival.
I want to bust a mark when you come
This is so. All right? The National Carnival Committee, headed by, what is my name? Winston Gypsy Peters, where the ship sinking, Peters. Gypsy, the ship of Trinidad is sinking. Every year, billions and hundreds of millions of dollars are pumped into the National Carnival Committee under your watch, Gypsy. When last have you given what you call a record of your spending, your profit or your losses?
Right.
When?
And I want to tell you all something.
How much profit does the National Carnival Committee sees or brings after Carnival finishes?
Right. And here we're going to dissect again. Look at the long-term effect. You ask any nurse, any doctors in Trinidad and Tobago health facilities, how much cases are ramped up? People get shot, people get busted, people get broken arm, accident, this, that, the next. And you know what normally happens? And this came from the Faculty of Health in Trinidad and Tobago. During the carnival period, all those persons who have aged people, who have old parents, they go and check them in the hospital and say, well, my father's sick 2 days before and my mother's sick.
Then what are they going to
They're going to party. So what they're doing now, they're going to jam that, surplus people into the health facilities. System. And you know what? And that is our regular thing. Examine that. Somebody outside there who have the resources. We don't have the resources. We don't have the resources, but who have the resources outside there, do a forensic and see how many new patients is being entered by the week before Carnival, and by Wednesday, how many people.
Take them back out.
And you're going to see what is going to happen. They use the hospital, the health facility, as a daycare for those people to go and party and gyrate and jam. And again, when you look at the amount of banditry, you look at the amount of criminality, we look at the amount of immorality, you look at the lack of spirituality. Like, God sleeping for 4 days. Do anything and get away. Have sex in the street. Do everything.
But Imam, you remember last year before the Prime Minister was dancing to a tune called, you want me to say?
Say.
Take bamboo, girl. Take bamboo, right there, girl. The Prime Minister of Trinidad was singing and gyrating that song and abandoning. This man is a disgrace. Carnival is a national disgrace.
And I tell you something, we don't have a problem. I tell you something, you have different segments of society who want to have carnival, but create some other avenue. You cannot be discriminating against the public. Where is the Hindu celebration? Where is the Muslim celebration? Where is the Christian celebration? Why don't you fund those things also? Are we not we living in this country? Are we not worried enough for that?
We don't pay tax.
Are we not worried enough to be, given some sort of appreciation by the government of the day? The only one who did it, you see, Kamala Prasad Bisesa. Don't mind, I'm not seeing eye to eye with them, but you see, Kamala Prasad Bisesa, she was one who really and truly initiated certain things for the Baha'i, the Baptist people, the East Indian. I'll tell you something. When it comes to the Islamic community, I want to be real here. That was the only woman. She was the Prime Minister at that time. She called a meeting and she said, Imam, you call this meeting a special meeting with the Islamic community leaders and so forth. And we call that meeting, and you know what? A certain stipend was given for the month of Ramadan to assist. Not a single government gone. I don't think any government that is coming would have ever done that, what Kamala Prasad Bisesa done. I'm not seeing eye to eye with her, but I'm telling you, my friends, and the only reason I'm not seeing eye to eye with her is because I tell you something, when you have men like Dinesh Rambali, who really and truly is a strong philosophical activist.
Political advocate,
For,
yes.
you know what? For righteousness, number one. For morality, number two. And for representation, number three. And you could kick a man out like that, then you know what? you don't want me around you.
Correct,
because
Imam.
I stand for the same quality that has been portrayed by Dinesh Rambali. You understand? I stand for those very same qualities. And you telling me because of what? Because of, did he abuse you? Did he went on a platform and say you were this and you were that, like the rest of miscreants who are right next to you, who are sitting next to you right now?
Talk it out.
We have videos. We have videos that were sent to us where very sad elements were abusing and humiliating and using obscene language against you, but yet still you choose them against morality,
Integrity,
spirituality, and better representation. Let's take a break, Director.
Welcome back, friends. Welcome back to our program Hard Facts on Sentinel Media Live Broadcasting. We are here with you Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays, my friend, from 12:15 p.m. Our program being a 1-hour power pack program. And as you can judge from today's edition of the program and subsequent editions, it is really, really a power pack program. When the Imam and I come here, the most we will do, I will exchange pleasantries with him. Imam, assalamu alaikum. And I come up to the studio. I get into my apparel and I sit here, the Imam would come, and that's it. We start our ball rolling. There is no prior discussion whatsoever. And those of you, in Trinidad and Tobago who would really like to come and view the filming and the proceedings of this studio, feel free to contact the Imam and we will try to accommodate you. Now, my friends, as the Imam was saying, we have something called Carnival is coming up.
Yeah.
And we have Kiddies Carnival. And money is spent through the Ministry of Arts and Culture to fund Kiddies Carnival also.
Yeah.
All right? What about the schools in central and south of Trinidad? What about the Mahasabha schools? What about the Asja schools? What happened to Kiddie Carnivals in those schools, Imam? Just, I know you want to think. What happened to Kiddies Carnival in those schools? Are those children not kids also? Don't they want to get into the carnival atmosphere, so to speak, in a decent, guided manner? Think about that. Think about that. Now, my friends, as we move along in a year where, fast approaching is a general election, so to speak, where we will probably see a change in government, or we will probably revert back to the same old, where the People's National Movement would be in government again, and the United National Congress would be comfortably seated in the opposition benches, which they are very, very accustomed to, as the Imam was saying prior to the break. Now, this being said and done, 9 years, approximately $540 billion in 9 years, Imam.
Yeah.
Nearing to $600 billion spent in this country. Where was that money generated from? From taxation of the people of Trinidad and Tobago. No foreign exchange here. Close down petrol, we know all of that. We move ahead. We have a Minister of Works and Transport under the Ministry of Works and Transport. His name is Rohan Sinanan. Boasting all over Trinidad and Tobago, and have the Prime Minister boasting also that there's a massive drive of road paving in this country. Now, my friends, you drive through your locality, your neighborhood, and you can count every huge pothole in Trinidad and Tobago. I gave the director a clip where somebody in Trinidad and Tobago put up a sign, but apparently it is not loading or something like that. The sign reads, potholes ahead, no swimming, no bathing, and no fishing in these potholes. So, Imam, that could be a tourist attraction.
Exactly.
You understand? That could bring in tourism into this country. You see the type of potholes we have in the nation's roads. You understand? Bearing in mind also, we have a beautiful, nice pitch lake that is supplying pitch throughout the world for them to build their own roads.
All right, Director, I want you to come back with that license office car park thing. And I want Trinidad and Tobago really and truly to understand, we have to pay for everything like that. We don't have any proper representation. Imagine government land, that is currently limited land, that is not government land, that is currently limited land, being used as a private car park, and you have to pay. This is for the customers of the licensing office in Caroni.
And you're going by them to do business,
Yes, something has to be really and truly investigated there, because, you know, the government could have initiated that. Why it is everything we have to pay for? Why things you want something from this government? If you get a chance, you have to pay for a photocopy. If you get a chance, you know something? If you get a chance, I know for a fact that some of the gas station now, if you want air for your tire, you might tell oxygen seller now. If you go there, you have to pay
$2
$5 or $4 to get air in your tire. So when we talk on this program here, it is really and truly hard facts that we bring to the table. You understand? It is hard facts that we bring to the table. Now, my grouse all the time, and you're going to hear me beating this drum. I'm going to beat this drum until something is done. Because here it is, Premchand Balde was saying just a while ago that Tobago, the cost overrun with the what?
Cost overrun for the expansion of the Tobago airport is $118 million. When the Minister of Finance submitted a sum to the Parliament in the vicinity of $27 or $26 million, he lied.
Right. So basically, what is happening in our country? Maybe the Prime Minister, and I will tell you this, you know, just as the leader is, the follower is going to be this very sad way. If the Prime Minister could lie blatantly and get away with it, why is you having conference now, boss man? Why you are having this fuel what Prem? What are you having?
A conference.
No,
yeah. Crime. No.
Not crime. Director, what they haven't, pull it up for me. Energy. That is, we're talking about energy. That's fuel, diesel. You shut down PNM, and PNM shut down Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley. You shut down Petrotrin, and you jamming with Petrojam at this point in time. Something adding up there, you know. Something not adding up. And I will tell you something. If the PM, the head of state, could lie, I believe all the rest could lie. If one man say 28 million and the next one, the statistic figures on the book saying it's say 118 million, then something is not adding up. The maths not mathsing. Now I'll tell you something, Trinidad and Tobago, hear me good. The property tax ordinance of Trinidad and Tobago has to be repealed. Because I am telling you at this point in time, you want to charge property tax? Then take off VAT. Take off VAT from all building materials. Do something like that. You understand? You cannot be digging the eyes out of the people of Trinidad and Tobago and everybody must stay quiet. You see, Trinidad and Tobago is a
peaceful...
This
calls for national shutdown in Trinidad
and Tobago is a peaceful place. And I tell you something, they will be push and push and push. Remember, the same guy, Minister of Finance, we raise and we raise and we raise and they are rioted. I tell you something, when people are pushed in a corner, right, they would have no choice to retaliate, and that is because of what you all have sown. What you all have sown. Call us, please call the other number, 3722129. Don't call my number. My number is not listed, is not connected with the system here. Call 3722129. That's the second caller who's calling, and it's a very sad discussion. Call 3722129. Now, my friends, the $200 million approximate, I want to find out, I don't want to quote figures wrongly. How much money would be generated from property tax, from residential property tax at this point in time? How much? 200 million? You look at how many millions have been usurped and raided and ghosted.
Unaccounted for.
And unaccounted for.
No transparency, no accountability.
And you're going to realize that this thing called property tax really and truly is a tax that to keep people at bay. You know, to put that, you're not done squeezing the throat. You're squeezing the throat with all the other tax. This is to compound it now. And this is to finish them
Keep
out.
silence.
And hear what? When we get them on this hole, then hear what? Kobo eat the supper. Because anything we install, if we say, watch me, $1 million to get a passport, they had to pay it. To
Yes,
renew,
yes.
they had to pay it. This price, they had to buy it. That is the monopoly that we have to stop. It is done privately by the construction industry. Let me tell you something. Do you all know, Trinidad and Tobago, that cement is going up 7%? In my Wednesday program, I'm going to do a special on cement pricing. I want Trinidad and Tobago to understand carefully what is the cost per bag of cement in a hardware. How much the hardware owners paying for a bag of cement. And when they tell you $60, some of you might feel, hey, the hardware making money, boy. The hardware making money. They're charging $60 a bag. But when Rock Hard was in the market and charging $48 and they was kicked out the market, nobody say anything. So we had to take it and we rukukutung. We had to take it now. But I would show you from bills. I will get bills and show you what is the cost of a bag of cement dropped off at the hardwares. And you tell Trinidad and Tobago how much the hardwares owner is supposed to sell
Yeah,
that
but
for.
Imam, I'll tell you something. Whenever cement goes up by whatever percentage, it triggers and navigates the price of other building items to go up.
All the other buildings, we're talking about blocks.
Right?
Blocks use
Blocks
cement.
will go up also. Exactly.
Block use cement, right? We're talking
Sand,
about
gravel,
pottery. We're
steel,
talking about everything.
everything going to go up.
Everything in construction will automatically rise.
So just now we can't be that all good.
No, well,
Walking out.
but that's the whole objective. Keep them low. Let me hear what to do. Eliminate the middle class. Let's have a filthy rich and a filthy poor. We must be like Haiti. We must be like Bangladesh. We must be like, all
Yemen.
like the Philippines.
Yemen. Mm-hmm.
We must be living in cardboard box. That is what the government of the day want. And you know something? People who are competing in the political sphere, don't feel that you get to know whether you are opposition. You feel that because you are opposition, the blame going in the government alone. You watching them do it. There's something called aiding and abetting.
Correct.
If the police get marijuana in your
Gambling
vehicle,
and assembling to gambling, the same charge.
You driving a taxi and it have marijuana was found or a gun was
You're
found.
going down.
You going down too. And the point I'm making here is that the government doing a lot of heinous act and the opposition watching that. And you know what they say? We can't do nothing. They have majority in parliament. Get the hell out of parliament.
Exactly, ma'am.
Get the hell out of parliament. If you have good ideas to save the country of Trinidad and Tobago, you have good ideas. Kamla Prasad Bisesa and your team, you all have good ideas. And when you go across there, you are railed, derailed from your whatever advances that you want to make. Then that is not the place for you. Take the parliament out of the parliament and start mediating with the people in the community and let the people do their bidding. If it has to be riot, let it be so. God knows best. But my friends, again, Trinidad and Tobago, we are a place where if they say bull full, we say when we get in penus.
Well, Imam, in my opening remarks...
All you know is penus, right?
In my opening remark of today program, I endorse what you just said there prior to you saying it. Now, my friends, we are in the last leg of the program this morning. Our present acting commissioner of police prophesied from the pulpit in police uniform, wearing a bulletproof vest and his badge here, that he is going to become commissioner of police. So said, so done. He was also involved in the investigation against the commissioner of police. Now that he has received an instrument of appointment, listen to some of his remarks. There's a video, but we run out of time, so no video. I'm going to just read out to you. He said to his staff and to Trinidad and Tobago that his mission is to revamp the TTPS, the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, to bring back more, listen to the words, to bring back morality, public trust, safety and security to the citizens of this country. Now, Mr. Acting Commissioner of Police, Mrs. Ola Hayward Christopher was the Commissioner of Police, and you were right underneath there.
Yeah.
Where was the morality and the public trust and the safety and security that you want to bring back when you were right there under, working with her on there? Where was it then? Didn't you see it then? You want to revamp the TTPS. You were the second in command. You should be ashamed of yourself to make such statements now that Mrs. Ola Christopher is not there. If the Imam and I working together here, Imam is the chairman, I am the vice chairman, and things are going wrong here, and I am as the vice chairman, I am supposed to say, Imam, what you're doing there, I disagree.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? But now you come 2 weeks after Ola is not there, and you want to revamp TTPS? You want to bring back public trust, morality, safety and security? What are your plans? How are you going to do that?
Frame, we could go a bit further. We could go
How
a
are
bit
you going
further.
to do that?
We could go a bit further, right? What different strategies are you going to use that you could not facilitated when Ola was there?
Exactly.
We know for a fact. We were telling you all. We were telling you all. We're going to ask you the question now. This question we was posing to Ola, who was the past commissioner of police. Now you is the acting commissioner of police. You, Mr. Man, you tell us, what can we do as lawful abiding citizens when a bandit jump your fence?
2 o'clock in the morning.
2 o'clock in the morning, break your door, and you are in the possession of having a weapon, right? Whether it be a legal weapon or whether it be a residential weapon, like, you know, a machete or something like that. What do we do when we find a bandit, some miscreant in your property, knocking on your door for the safety and protection of your family? What can you do? Why don't you all come out with a mandate like that? Once you find somebody and you have evidence that they have broken down your door, right, and they are attacking you, that you have the prerogative, you have the rights to do something to protect your family. That is something that we want to hear. You know, if you're not given, you're not signing off on no firearm.
I want to bring up that now. You have 28,000 applications or files already investigated, waiting for denial or approval. All right? The Commissioner of Police, Mr. Ola, was not doing anything about that. Now we are addressing this to you, Acting Commissioner of Police. What are you going to do?
Are you going to follow the same strategy? Put the files there and let it get cobweb. And then, you know, let 5 or 6 people go, take a high-profile lawyer and sue you. Because that is something that is happening in our country. You sue the state, you make our money. I believe there is a conspiracy taking place there, but I'm not going on there. I'm not going on there. That is just a thought.
Because, you know, son, as we are about to close, you pass your regulations, you pass your road test, you pass your driving test. Can the Commissioner of Transport deny you a driver's permit? So too, with those who have applied for firearm users license, FUL. Some of these people are already in possession of firearm and they apply for a variation, another firearm, for protection of self and property. And they have, you know, they have met all the criteria, and the investigating officer was pleased with whatever and whatnot. Why, you know, tell us why.
No,
tell us why it is not being granted. Tell us why.
You dissect it real good there. You know.
Tell us why.
Get jacket. You did a good job there. A man passed regulation.
Yeah.
Driving test, right?
Yeah.
And now here, when you have to get now your your permit, your license, your DP, they say you can't get it. You know why? Because you're too tall, or you're fat, or you're this, or you're that. Oh, let me tell you something. You know the requirements for getting a firearm is a long list. You have to
even psychometric testing too. You have to spend money and do all that.
And when that happened, you know, it remind me of the embassies in our country. They pay a whole set of money, all kind of $1,000 and $1,500 to apply for the thing. And when you don't get it, they don't give you back. They don't refund you back your money.
No refund.
They don't refund back your money because they're happy. Everybody come and we deny them and say, here what, you know, a nice student ways, reapply. Give you an next $1,500 or an next $1,000. I believe that is the very sad thing is going to happen after 5 years. I believe the longest waiting period to know if you're getting a firearm or not would have been about 3 years. And the Commissioner of Police office should write you a letter officially stating reason why you are denied. And if you feel that you are discriminated upon, then you can take it to the courts for further judgment. But we don't get those things, and we talk about this over and over. Over and over, we try to bring light. We try to make discussions. We don't come here to fight, you know.
Now, the reason for bringing up this topic is that people throughout Trinidad and Tobago have been calling and texting and giving information to Sentinel Media Broadcasting to highlight this issue.
Exactly.
Because they have applied. Some of them have applied before the COVID, after the COVID also, and not a word from the Commissioner's office on the status of their application.
Right. So again, as we close off our program here, I was trying to keep it for the last, so that you know it would not cause too much of problems. Director, the shots with the mosque in Felicity, and those of you who are looking on here, this occurred this morning. Other shots. This is the mosque here, right? And this is the Felicity Mosque. And what we normally do, listen, don't run it so fast. Hold your hand. Hold your hand right here. Now, what we normally do in the mosque, that's the mosque car park, right? we could have put a barricade there and block off that, so that no vehicle wouldn't be able to turn there. But what happened, we leave it open because the residents on the left, on the right, they utilize it sometimes for parking and all these things. Now, a truck by the number plate TDN 9056. I want to repeat that number, TDN 9056. You had a big logo on that. I don't want to identify the logo of your company because that's going to bring disrepute, and maybe in some cases you might even lose your job, right? But what we're saying, the driver of TDN 9056. You went to make a delivery in Greenwich Road today, this morning period, and you reversed there, like you cut short, and you bounce the roof, and then you drove away. You damaged the beam, the purlin, the galvanized. Those things need to be repaired, and we're giving you, and we're going by the person who you make the delivery for, and that you're going to come back there, and that costing a lot of money to repair. The month of Ramadan is coming up, and we want to get that place fixed as fast as possible, right? So the vehicle number is TDN 9056, right? There's a truck that turned there this morning and run into the back of the garage there and damaged the whole place. The garbage truck did it, but we get them a blind.
But Imam, an official report should be made to the police.
But we're trying to keep it. We're trying to keep it in our order because we have some time to make. I think the president already gone to make that report.
Yeah, because it must be made. An accident report must be made within 24
hours.
Right.
So I think the president is a man. He's a serious person. I might be a little more lenient. He's more serious than me. I think he already went to the police station to make that report. So with the driver of TDN 9056, that's the truck that made the delivery for the guy in Greenwich Road there. Please contact us so that you could be able to repair that, and this would not go further than where it is already, right? So again, my friends, those of you who are locked on, this is your program, Hard Facts. We are here highlighting, and again, you all outside there, Prem invited you all. If any one of individuals who are watching, male, female, young or old, maybe schools, classroom, or whatever, you would like to come in here and maybe sit in the hall there and take in the program, because we have a television outside there, and you can be able to see how Hard Facts is done and how we record the program. Sometimes Prem will just come, you will see how we attire ourselves, just show on a jacket and that. No powder, no makeup, no costume, no cosmetics.
No script.
No scripts. What's it there? Blank paper.
Kora kagas.
Yeah. Right? So
or you can, I will even invite you to sit on my chair.
And we could do some.
And speak at a minute or two.
And we could do. You could talk about your school. You could talk about
your village,
your whatever. So this is your program, Hard Facts. Again, I want to say hats off to all the businessmen in Trinidad and Tobago, starting from the doubles, because I tell you something. I don't know why. You know, pie, sahina, bacon shack, pilau, roti and
how
chicken.
come Binimane talk about bacon shack?
No, I'm telling you.
Corn soup. Why you talk about doubles?
No, Daisy thing. And our next Jack. And next Jack from Tobago talking about dead people water and
Kizel, yes.
Them mad.
Hey, woman, rocks over that dotish you're talking about.
Dotish, and you know something?
Rocks over that.
And these are the very sad one who say, give me next one, please. You know, once you have a double box.
Dead people water?
You have
what evidence and proof you have?
Lord.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord, people. Trinidad and Tobago. Very, very important information, right? We are here identifying the anomalies, the challenges, the difficulties, the hardship that is being perpetrated, right?
You know, even that double thing is an attack against Indian people, you know, boy. Because Indians who really make and sell doubles, and you know, they are more the lovers of doubles in this country, so to speak.
I beg to differ. You go in Lara Sus Road in Arima. You go in Arima, Omira Road in Arima. It have one of the best tasting doubles in that whole segment there. And the person who making that, and the man who's selling is African.
Lady boy. Asili lady.
African. You go in Konopia. You go in Konopia just opposite Diatrace.
Yes.
Opposite Diatrace there. There's an African lady, a young girl.
Frying doubles.
You go and see the doubles.
Oh, God,
so
boy.
doubles is no Indian thing. Bacon shack is no African thing.
Don't
get tied up.
That's for Kizel from Tobago.
Let them know that. Yeah. Don't get tied up. You might know how to do it, but let me tell you something. Some of the best doubles come from African people hand making it. Don't get tied up. Don't get up.
When you're going to San Fernando, you come off the highway and you're going on that road to go down to the old hospital.
That is
right? There's a man selling doubles, and in the box mark Chin's Tasty Doubles.
Chin's,
so
yeah.
Chinese are not selling doubles in this country. So my friends, I would like to say a little hello and a shout out to some of our very, very good friends. First of all, to Miss Savanta Tapa from Nepal, close to India, from Miss Sumati Maraj in New York, Mr. Devdat Balkaran Singh from New York also, Mr. Malo, Mrs. Deuki from Whiteland, Mr. Robin from Whiteland also, and you know, Dr. Maniram and so many others who view our program, you know, whenever they get time.
What about the principal guy?
Say again?
The principal who spoke to you weekend?
Yeah. Yesterday I attended a wedding, very small, nice function. And as principal guy, he happened to recognize me, you know, and he said, Premchand Balu. I said, yes, sir. He said, Sentinel Media Broadcasting. I said, yes, sir. He said, I want to tell you something. Looking at you and the Imam, anybody challenge both of you, they're in for a fight. I said, what kind of fight? He said, verbal.
All right.
He said, all they look like two real serious men. I said, hey.
And you know, Prem talk about, here we talk about, I talk about the African double maker in Kunopia and Arima. He talk about the Chinese, but I tell you something, to crown it off, you wouldn't believe this, but it has Spanish making doubles in all those doubles in the southern end down there. Is Spanish making that, you know?
Yeah, but he has Spanish singing chutney too.
Understand?
Yes.
So don't feel in Trinidad and Tobago, you know when we say multi-religious, we say multicultural.
Correct.
We say multi-ethnic. And you know something?
Cosmopolitan.
When we say these things, Trinidad and Tobago, don't get tired up. It's only a handful of people trying to divide and rule. It's only a handful. You know, if they allow the East Indian and the African to live in harmony in this country, you know something? They don't get any vote.
No, God,
they don't get
PNM
no
will
vote.
be out of power.
PNM out of power and the UNC out of power.
Out of power.
Because this is why, you know, they try to
divide. And rule.
You watch the PNM slate, they have 5-6 Indian. You look at the African, you see about the UNC,
two African.
2 or 3 African, and they say, yeah, well, you know what, we well established and we well represented. Don't get tired of that. That thing is window dressing. Try to understand. Don't judge people by color, creed, or race. Judge people by, you know what? Judge people by what? You know what? By the actions that they do.
Performance.
By performance.
Talk.
You understand? By performance. All right, so thank you all very much. May God Almighty unite our hearts as one. And don't allow the politician to divide you all. Don't allow no hate to be permeated within the African and the Indian people in our country, because that is what is destroying our country. I thank you.